Hey everybody, it's Kelly and I'm back for my very last video for my 2017 December daily. And just so that you know, in case you're just catching this sort of kind of later or a year or two later, I do have a playlist out there for every layout in this book, as well as I have a flip through of my 2016 book and a playlist for every video for that as well too. So just so you know, the majority of my products were from Elle Studio from this year, kind of some of their add-ons, their December documented kit, and then some 'Tis the Season from last year, and then little bits and pieces that I still had left over from Good Cheer and Joyful, which were 2014 and 2015 line. So not much of that, but there was some of that in there. So that's where most of the stuff was coming from. So there's my cover. I'm going to flip to the beginning. So those of you who were with me early on, remember that I made this sort of intro page because I didn't think my first page was all that exciting. And it ripped almost right away, but I did go back and put hole reinforcers in it, just kept it in the back of the book, and it's fine. So I think it'll be fine. Page 1 here, so this is just a little, it says Hello December, and it is a little bit, it's something that I just pulled, I Googled Hello December and this art came up. So a little bit of a story about going ornament shopping here, and Elle Studio product here. December day 2, and this year I did December daily, I should tell you that, from December 1st through the 1st of January. Some years I do from Thanksgiving through the 1st of January. I don't think I've ever cut it off at Christmas, but I might have. You know, I've been doing this for 11, let me think, how many, this is my 11th year of doing this, so it's hard for me to remember everything. And by the way, this is a Simple Stories binder too. That's kind of important for you to know. It's their big 2-inch. All right, then page number 2 was a story about, day number 2 was a story about a book club we had at a local brewery, and then we went to test some cider out there, and Elle Studio wood veneer, Elle Studio cards and papers, and then this is Michael's, this is Elle Studio as well. I think, I'm trying to remember who asked me this question. I haven't answered it specifically yet, but in case you see this first, the numbers that I use are the number, they're not the date number, they're the day number that I'm recording. So because this year I went through from December 1st through January 1st, I had 32 days out there. It would have been a little bit more apparent if I'd started at Thanksgiving, but that's why I put the 32 on January 1st versus a number 1 again. These are not dates for me. They happen to coincide to most dates this year, but this is the day number, and I do that every year that way. Day number 3 over here was a little bit of a story about a morning routine. I like to bring in everyday stuff into this book, and I like to bring in Christmas stuff or Christmas related stuff, holiday related stuff. So that's what this is all about here. A lot of Elle Studio on here again, and this will be cool because this was different this year. What I have for breakfast is different than what I was having for breakfast last year, and that may change again next year. You know, who knows? So you can see those little individual things in here. Day number 4 was the story of a really special ornament that is 49 years old actually. So that's the story of that. A lot of Elle Studio on here again, and then some that's a Michael's doily from Valentine's Day a couple years ago. And I'm using Simple Stories page protectors as well. You should know that. For the pocket protectors. All right. Day number 5 again is the is an Elle Studio card here. This is the story of some special ornaments I bought. I have a tree which I call the kids or grandkids or storybook and cartoon character tree, so I bought a Play-Doh ornament and the Fisher-Price telephone this year, so that's kind of fun. Day number 6 is another one of those everyday pages, and it's going to tell me what I did this year for sure. I'm a massage therapist, in case you didn't know that already, and I took a really important 4-day long class the first weekend of December. We need to do a continuing education to keep our licenses, or to keep our certifications. In Wisconsin, where I live, we also need to do that to keep our licenses. But I was doing some pre-study here because it was a very anatomy-based practice. For those of you who think massage is rubbing, it's not. It's way more complicated than that. Day 7 is the first day of the class, so and I'm going to cover this because I forgot about that. I just took the business card of the instructor because I forgot to take a photo that day of the class. It was kind of overwhelming. So I just used the business card of the instructor there and just a card to talk about that. Then, and then this is my name tag, and I just stuck it behind here because I wanted to be able to see the shape of this. Although now that I look at this, that's not as important to me as it was on the day I did this. So this matches more with this. So I'll put that there. And I like to do little things like this where I just punch a little hole in it and add it in. Day number 8, I went to Starbucks and met a friend, and then she bought me this darling little ornament. And it was a big deal because my word this year for one little word, or for 2017, sorry, because it's now 2018, for 2017 was flourish. So I love that I have this. And then she bought one as well, just to remember the day. So this is my liner from my cup here. And then I have this is a sticker from Michaels, and this is a Freckled Fawn coffee filter or coffee cup. By the way, if you have any specific questions about products in this or on layouts, you can always leave a question for me in the comments on YouTube, and I will answer it. Day number 9 is a little bit of a story of going out to dinner with some friends, and I had one of my favorite meals, so that's documented here. Again, kind of a Christmas thing because we exchange Christmas presents, but sort of an everyday thing, and also documenting what my current favorite restaurant meal is. So that's something that might change in a year, who knows. Then in between these 2 days, I have another vellum piece here with just a snowflake on it, and I did the snowflake back to back. And that's because I did put these together. You can kind of see them this way. So I carried some red and green over to this one because there was red and green over here. But when I really looked at it, I didn't love it. So I think I might have added this in later. You may not have seen that. So then, still a little bit of a cold here, guys. The 10th day here was a story about our first snow. The first snow that we can measure. It took all the way till December 10th. I like to get that documented as well every year to see how that changes. Day number 11 is the view in the office, in my office's lobby. I love, it's so serene normally, but during Christmas it gets decorated and there's lights in the window, and I love to go up there if I don't have a client and sit and read a book or just think, do a little bit of work, whatever. So I wanted to get that documented here. Then day number 12 is, so again, a little bit of Christmas, but also kind of a picture of where I am right now, working. Day number 12 is a nativity that we put out. So that's kind of a nice, I like to sometimes take pictures of that, like how it was arranged, where it sat, because that can change from year to year as well. Day number 13 is a very special ornament. This is a wood ornament that a client of mine made for me. This is the second year that that client has done that. So he hand makes them, and I'm just really touched that he does that. He knows how much I love Christmas ornaments. So just my clients are just amazing and wonderful. So that is documented in lots of, again, Elle Studio here. Day number 14, I'm going to take this out so you can see this. I did a shaker pocket with the sequin pack from the Elle Studio December documented, and I used my, my fuse tool. So you can see behind that, there's a lot going on behind this. I think before I did that, you could see it a little bit better, but I think it just makes sense to keep it there because of where it is. So anyway, let's talk about day 14. I was having a little highlight put in my hair, and so I wanted to just get that documented that that's what I did this particular day. And then on the back of that, also for, actually it's not, for day number 15, because day number 15 is over here, I wrapped presents. So I like to take a picture of the presents all wrapped. I like to save the the receipts here, because I can use them as gift receipts, or just remember, you know, it's a little extra something to remember what I spent. And then I put them in this Pebbles bag, which is what I did last year. Sometimes I'll put them in a 6x8 page protector with a piece of the paper behind it. This happens to be my mom's gift tag, and I saw it got thrown out, so I just thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to put that in because that's the gift tag I used this year. And then down here is a list that I keep on my phone all Christmas, or well, from the time I start buying Christmas presents or thinking of ideas. I put the ideas in, and then as I buy things, I put what it is in the amount, and then check the person off when I'm all done. So that's how I keep track of my Christmas shopping. Day number 16 here is the story of some new running gear that I got so I could run outside during the winter. I will tell you, I have not run outside for the last 2 weeks because it's been below zero. And when they're talking about 30 minutes of being outside before you will get frostbite, that just doesn't seem like a good idea. Plus, I also bought a treadmill, which I think you will see later on in here. But anyway, so new gear, and then I went for a run that day, so I wanted to get that documented. And then these are just the tags from the 2 pieces that I bought. So I'll have the prices on them as well, so I can look back and think, oh my gosh, I spent a lot of money, but it was worth it. And I think I even talked about that on the in the card here. Day number 17 is the day I celebrated the Christmas with my grandsons and stepson and daughter-in-law. So that's just a couple of things from them and one of their presents and just the cute things that were going on. I am going to do larger layouts. I haven't done them yet, but of this day with more pictures of them opening presents and that kind of thing. Then this day number 18 is a it's still day number 17. Day number 17 is just a little card. I printed this last year, didn't use it, and was waiting to use it. And I decided later on, after I got this picture, because on this day, I also went to church and they did a Christmas cantata. So that's the program from it. This is a picture that they took for like a publicity thing. And I just glued that photo to the back of this Almost Christmas, because this is one of those activities that made it really feel like Christmas for me. And it was basically also the kind of the week before Christmas as well too. So I just thought it was kind of a cool way to start documenting the beginning of the actual Christmas week. So I like putting ephemera in this project as well. Excuse me just a second, guys. I'm going to take a drink here. This will also be the year of, remember when I got the cold right after Christmas. So as a matter of fact, on Christmas night. Day number 18 was documenting a story of an ornament, a yoga mat ornament I bought for myself. This has been the year of yoga for me. I do yoga every day. I have done yoga every day since June 1st, and this is day 214 of yoga every day. So my practice is usually between 20 and 30 minutes every day, but it can be more or less than that depending on what's going on. So I just wanted to get that documented. And then I have a friend, we challenge each other back and forth. We've both been doing this together. So I bought one for her as well. Day number 19 is more just a kind of an atmosphere thing again for Christmas. And these are the Christmas dishes we use. Some wood veneer from Elle Studio. All this stuff on here is from Elle Studio as well. So just wanted to remember this and how it was arranged. Last year we forgot to put these dishes out. So it was nice to get them on this year. Day number 20 is my Christmas card. So I just punched holes in it, popped it in here so it's in there, and then documented when I mailed those because, you know, I like to kind of remember that what I did from year to year for the card, and I usually take a photo of the stack of envelopes and then documented that. And this was interesting because I got a little black on this one as well because the picture was so dark. Day number 21 was a really busy day. It was my last day off before Christmas. So I started it out with a run. You can see the snow that was there the week before was basically gone. We've had very little snow this year. And then I went to the dentist. I did some major grocery shopping. I made hard-boiled eggs. I made cookie dough for the next day. And then I made some Chex Mix. So really busy day off. I wanted to document that. And then I made this wood veneer work for me because it said 'twas the night before Christmas. And I just crossed that off and wrote week before Christmas on that. And then it looks like this little star is shifted a little bit, so I'm going to shift him back here. All right. So, and then I didn't talk about this, but sometimes my embellishments are on the outside of the pockets like they are here, and sometimes they're on the inside of the pockets like they are here. It just kind of depends on what it is. The thicker they are, the more often they are on the outside. I talked about that in quite a few of my videos, especially with these acrylic pieces. They're really thick. So that's that day. Day number 22 was the day I bought my treadmill. So I took a picture of the store that I bought it from, and then I came home and I cut and baked the sugar cookies. And then I also added in the business card of the consultant I worked with when I bought my treadmill, and then just the little estimate that he gave me about how much it was going to be. I did that as well in there. And then just because I wanted, this wasn't all that pretty laying on the page behind it, and I had the 2 inserts in. I went back a couple, I don't know, I was looking at this a couple days later and thought, you know, I only have 2 inserts in. I haven't put one in for about a week. It was more than that actually, so it was about 12 days, and I thought it would look weird to have a vellum in the beginning of the book and nothing in the back. So this actually worked out really well. I just went and I grabbed a silver heart vellum and just put a puffy sticker on the back, on the front and then the back, and it kind of works really well with the page behind it as well too. So this lays kind of nicely here. I love my treadmill, so that's nice, and I also love making sugar cookies, and that is the story of the next day, day 23 here. My nephew and his wife came to visit my mom and I. My mom was with me for the Christmas season, and we frosted and decorated the sugar cookies. And here he is licking the frosting. We had a nice little selfie taken with the 4 of us, so that's kind of a nice thing too. And I got to use some more of my gingerbread embellishments here. And then here, because we did so much that day and there were so many great photos, I also added 2 more pages here so that we could really get the whole decorating piece in as well. And then my nephew had heard that Chardonnay was really good with sugar cookies. There's wine pairing lists out at Christmas, so we tested it. And I have to tell you, if you've never had Chardonnay with sugar cookies, do it. At least iced sugar cookies. They were, it was amazing. It was a great pairing. So little bit of decoration here and there with some puffy stickers and wood veneer and just regular stickers as well, but kind of getting the whole piece here. We reminisce too about when the first time I ever taught him to lick beaters and how we used to make Christmas cookies with me, so it was really nice. They don't live in the same state I do anymore. They live on the East Coast. So this is the 24th, so Christmas Eve here. So Christmas Eve there, I should say. So it snowed a little bit on Christmas Eve morning, so I took a picture of that as I was kind of putting things in the car to get ready to go. I used some of these Felicity Jane snowflakes, which are awesome, and now that we're starting to get some more snow, it kept snowing all day long here, so it's just a reminder that that happened. And then 2 little photos from our Christmas celebration with my extended family. My brother always does an ugly sweater, and they make it. My sister-in-law makes it for him. So this year he did a Christmas vacation theme. So he's got the squirrel going to the Christmas tree, which was just a riot, except it was lost on most of my family. But those of us who were in the know thought it was funny. Day number 25 is Christmas Day. And that one was, I actually hosted Christmas Day, so we had a special cocktail. So here I am, my brother and I, and my sister and I. So that was kind of nice. And then my nephew and his wife again, and I talked a little bit about those moments. And then on the back side is more Christmas Day as well here too, with my sister and brother and my mom. And then my sister-in-law is in that photo as well too. So we played this very silly game, so that's kind of documented here. And I just like that there's these little reminders, and then I rarely get in pictures, of course, because I'm the one taking them, and I rarely get pictures. My sister and I take photos together. My brother and I almost never take photos together, so it's really nice that that opportunity was there. And then these are some gift tags from some gifts that clients gave me, which I think actually need to go in the next page. So they're actually in the wrong place. So day number 26 was a day that not much happened. I actually went back to work on the 26th, but I had found these two cards a couple days earlier, a week earlier. One of them was a holiday playlist, and then the other one was one of those around here prompts about what I was loving, eating, baking, reading, watching, listening, creating, and opening. So I filled those both in and knew that I would use them somewhere in the week after Christmas when things were slow and nothing was going on that day, probably a work day. On top of that, I got very sick here, so really sick. I think it was a tough video, if I remember correctly. I think 2 of these in a row were tough videos. So if you go back, sorry. But anyway, so that's one of the reasons this is so simple. But I used a December card here and a lot of Elf Studio here on this particular day. So that's day number 26. And I'm going to put these tags in because these tags belong with this layout on the left here. So these are just 2 tags from some Christmas presents that clients gave me. One of them it was a cute little gift card holder that she had made herself, which was just, or there was a gift card holder. And actually the gift card fit in here now that I think about it. And then this one was just a tag from one of my special clients. So that's going in there, some ephemera. These are pictures of some of the food that I got from clients, and then some of the presents that I got from them. And then this was funny. This came on one of my presents. One of my clients' name is Kelly, so she gave me this gorgeous plate back here, and her tag said to Kelly from Kelly, and we both thought it was hilarious, so I kept that to put on this layout. Day number 28 here is a picture of my treadmill, because that was the day that my treadmill was delivered and set up. Unfortunately, I didn't use it until today. I'm recording this on the 4th. I think I walked on it for a few minutes over the weekend, but started coughing immediately. But today I actually ran a mile on it, which is really nothing. Normally I run 3 miles at least, but as you can tell, I'm still not completely healed. But I got a mile in on my treadmill plus 10 minutes of walking. So I was really excited about that. Wanted to document it because this is a big deal for me. Day number 29 was my last day of work for the year. So I took a picture of my schedule here, and I'm going to cover this because you can read some of the names, but I just documented that. And then I also documented my diffuser where I'm diffusing thieves oil as I'm trying to fight that cold. So I was using thieves a ton. Lots of puffy stickers here. These are from Pebbles. Day number 30 here was the story of a scrapbook I was making. In 2 days, I whipped out a 40-page scrapbook for a friend of mine. It's the 20th anniversary of her company this year, and they have a big party actually this coming weekend, the weekend that I'm taping it. So we both talked about it at one point, forgot about it, and then by the time we realized it was too late for me to really do much work on it because I was into the holiday season and doing the videos. So I said, I'll just work on it New Year's weekend. And I thought I was going to be doing it the whole time. I worked on it for 5 hours on Friday and 7 hours on Saturday, and I was done. So, more simple than my normal scrapbook layouts, but not a ton more simple. So I needed to document that because that's a big deal. And I gave it to her on New Year's Day, and she loved it. So that was pretty cool. December 31st, I documented this. I knew I was going to have something special going on the 1st, so I didn't want to document this that day, but I wanted to get this yoga journal documented because a friend of mine who I'm doing the yoga with gave me this really awesome yoga journal, and I wanted to get it documented how excited I was going to be to use it, and it actually worked out really nice with this little bit of turquoise in with the turquoise on the journal. Day number 32, and again, that's why I numbered it because it's the 32nd day that I've done this, even though it's the 1st of the month. So if Shamel, who goes through January 6th, because that's the 12th day of Christmas. It's also Epiphany for those of you who keep things up until then. She would just keep numbering. So if you had this January 2nd, this number would say the 33rd, the 3rd would say the 34th, and so on. Anyway, so we had a little party at my sister's that day because my other nephew and his wife were in town, so I used this nice big wood veneer 2018 here on the page, and then I took a picture of this very special ornament. I was so in the moment that day that I took like almost no pictures. I wish I had had my camera though at one point because my nephew and his wife announced that they're expecting. So we're really, you know, super, super excited about that in my family. So this is the ornament they gave my sister and brother-in-law. And then on the back, I had this extra space because I expected to take photos and I didn't. So I just put in some cards that sort of signified the season to me. This one says full of magic. Here's a house. This one says joyful. The season is so joy-filled for me. And then here's a little Elf Studio wood veneer snowflake on that. It's the most wonderful time of year paper. If you've missed this, I finally used that paper. I kept trying to use it the entire season and never did, but I used it on the very last day. So that paper and then this wood veneer snowflake and a little sticker. And then I talked a little bit about this in my final video, so I'll talk about it again for you, but I have a special Christmas card. This is a really cool 3D Christmas card that I might use as decorations from year to year because it's so cool, but I wanted to document that, so I stuck that in here to remember that. And then my Christmas cards right now are taped up around my scrapbook room. I have wainscoting that goes halfway up my wall and I tape them along the edge. So I have 2 homemade Christmas cards and 2 very special Christmas cards with lovely notes from very close friends. So I also have 2 6x8 pages in there for those Christmas cards when I take them off my wall. So then those 5 cards will be in here as well. And then very last but not least is the calendar that I use every year for December. If you want to know where that is, just let me know and I'll grab the link for you. But the person who does these calendars every year. I either get them in a page protector at the end or even the beginning you put it in, but then I document things that happen throughout the season. So guys, that is the flip through, the walkthrough of my December daily video. Again, it's been a pleasure and so much fun, even though I got really sick and it was hard to talk through part of this, but what a fun journey, and I just enjoy sharing it with you. Also, thanks so much because a lot of you have left a really kind comments on the video from yesterday, which was the last process video. So just thanks so much, you guys. As I said in that video, I just love doing this. I love sharing it with you. I love all your kind comments. Thanks to all of you for following along with me. I appreciate you more than you even know, even if you are not somebody who comments on videos. I know you're out there though, because I can see how many people are watching the video. So anyway, guys, this is it. So happy New Year. I think I said it on my last one, but I'll be back with videos. I'm planning on doing Tuesday and Saturday uploads. You'll see things from the Crafty Maven from me and little projects here and there. So have a great New Year, everybody. Bye.